Hey people, I'm the Broken Puppet. Welcome back to Brokenpuppet Tattoo. Today is how to draw a skull. Now it's the kind of one you've seen me do quite a few times. It's my kind of new school style. You know, look really good and actually really quite simple to do. So yeah, talk through line work, shading, highlights, all stuff you need to know. So yeah, enjoy it and I'll see you next time. Alright people, how to draw a skull. Now it's not a realistic type, it's kind of like my kind of new school kind of style one. You know, quite a few tattoos do similar type of ones. They're quite easy when you get the hang of them. So start off with just use up a nice big circular shape like this. Once you've got this, I'm going to have this one kind of facing this way, so I'm going to bring kind of curved line down here to the side, and I'm going to bring in the box shape. Now it's not dead center. You know, imagine like the dead center line was here, so just put it off to the side, and you want to curve this with a very similar curve to how you know the circle bit is. Once you go back here, curve it in again. So it's kind of like a box shape, just like a nice big kind of curved edge that's similar to this. Now if you imagine the way this line curves here, just come about halfway through it, do a kind of oval shape there. That just basically gives you an idea roughly where the nose goes. You know, circle shape there, and a circle shape on this side. You know, show where the eyes go. Now at the moment it kind of looks a bit kind of spooky, because it just doesn't really make sense, but it makes sense in a sec. So if you imagine this bit, this is where the teeth are going to go. So you just do a bunch of oval shapes, don't have to be any specific number, just kind of curving with it. Now this one's going to be kind of jawless at the bottom. Well, I'm going to draw it jawless and then I might add a jaw afterwards. No, I can do it jawless and I'll do another tutorial for how to do one with a jaw. You know, just two different kind of styles really. It wouldn't kind of look quite if I'd done it. So we got this, just kind of curve this edge around here and then bring this line into the bottom of that oval kind of shape. That just creates like a curve for the nose. And that's pretty much it for, like, you know, the structure basically for this type of skull. Now I like to start off with the nose. So where we've got this kind of oval shape, I'm going to bring in a line, curve it up, a bit shorter than what the oval shape was here, curve across, and then this line I'm going to curve the other way but down with that line. See, like that? So we've gone down with that line but we curved the other way. Bring that line back to where that bit kind of curved, across there, and then just mimic that line down just as if it's pointing towards this edge. Little line in that corner just kind of makes this kind of square shape here. And now, yeah, I'll do the inside bits in a sec, do it afterwards. So if you imagine where the nose bit comes down the centre, little curve, and that kind of points where your front two teeth are going to be. Now on these ones that are just like jawless, I like to have my teeth at the end really quite long. So it's going to bring in a little line at the bottom, curve up nice and wide, come down. So it's almost like a skittle shape, so you start off like a bottle, you know, big kind of square at the bottom. If you struggle getting the shape, do a box, then do a triangle on top of it, and then you just kind of curve along that shape. So you see you're going to go here, up, curve around that top, there. And you basically just keep repeating that. You know, you ain't got to get them all perfect. Like, you know, I'm going to make this one a bit shorter. This one's kind of like the canine bit, so I'm going to have a little kind of curve. And then as we get here, I like to make my outside ones a bit more fatter and shorter. And now you want to make sure you get a nice curve. You don't want these being dead straight because it just looks a bit silly to me. So it's going to, again, make this one shorter. This one's going to be like the canine. You know, and we're just making this kind of curve shape. And as they get here, make them a bit fatter. And these ones kind of curve behind, so you kind of bring the line up and just kind of curve behind the tooth. It's a real simple manoeuvre. You know, you might struggle a bit at first, but trust me, a bit of practice, you'll easily be curving those side ones in. It's nothing too major. So that's basically the teeth and the nose. And now the eyes, you can do you can do countless ways. You can do them basic circles, or you can do a bit more kind of realistic, a bit more curved. You know, if you want them kind of sad, you want them kind of like, you know, ovaled, but kind of like this way. If you want them angry, you want it to be a bit more kind of curved up to the side. These ones I'm going to do with a slight realistic curve. So I'm going to bring this one up. It's going to come down, but when it comes here, it's going to curve in out and around. So you kind of curve up, inwards, out and back around. And then on the inside of that, I'm just going to bring in some curved lines. And now these lines are literally just curving off of each other. And I'm just going to keep adding them. And this is just basically making like a bit of skull on the inside. And then I leave this space here that I would normally do with a highlight or a colour on the inside bit. Now this side, quite similar, the same, except it's going to be a slight different curve. So I'm going to bring this down, bring this out, bring that back around. So you see it's similar to this, but just not quite as strong. Like you've got a little tiny bend here, but not as strong as this bend. I'm going to do the same thing here. Just going to keep bringing in these curves. Just building up this inside shape. Real simple technique. And that's basically for the eye bits. And now from this eye I'm going to bring in semicircular shape just going over that nose bridge. This just basically creates the kind of curve you get in the forehead. You know, just between your nose, where your eyebrows are. And now if you want you can bring semicircles all around the teeth for an effect. You know, this one I quite like the way it looks now, so I'm not going to add that. But you could if you wanted to, just like keep curling around each tooth all the way across. I'm going to bring this line up, kind of curve out a bit. Bring out, I'm going to bring this one quite sharp I think. Yeah, I quite like that. So yeah, this is just creating like the cheekbone bit. And I'm going to bring another line up, just underneath, joining out. Yeah, not my best curve. And then just curve around that eye shape. This one I'm going to go about 2 teeth in, start roughly just a bit above it, curve down, curve out and back. Yeah. Now because I'm going for the points, you know, you don't got to do these pointy bits, you know, I just quite like them. You know, there's nothing too special about it. You can sort of curve in like a normal sort of skull. You know, play around with it, do different kind of shapes here, you know, so, it's a really easy way to make them unique. I'm just going to bring the shape around this eye. I'm going to make it a bit bumpy, and I'm going to add a few like kind of little detail bits in here. Little flick off the back, and then just bring in that semi-circle at the back. Way around, and then just nice little zigzag bit going up the top. You can add like, you know, these bits there, add extras. I might add a little kind of curve in the nose bit here that I would normally do with a highlight. Now I've done that, I'm just going to grab a thinner pen and do a few detail bits. There we go. Yeah, just little lines like here. I'm going to bring in a nice curve to there. Bring it. Now these bits are literally just, it's hard to really guide you with these. It's just like you just see them. You know, just practice inputting little lines in that. You know, don't worry if you ruin your picture. You know, because you'll learn to love these little lines. You know, you're not going to get everyone spot on. Just going to bring in a little curve just here on each side of the cheek. You always get this kind of little dip in bit, which I quite like. A few little lines just in between the teeth. A couple little lines there, just make it a little bit kind of bony. Now this side bit I said, you know, and I said about the detail here, I literally just kind of curve in a couple of lines. That's a real simple technique, but it just really helps show curve. You know, it's literally just bring the lines across. You know what I mean? Such simple, just a couple of little lines, but it makes the world difference. Teeth, I'm just going to do a couple of little lines, going up on each one of them. You ain't got to, but I quite like making my teeth really kind of bony rather than clean. There we go. A few around there, just a couple on this inside bit. It ain't too crazy. Just done that, just grab your black. I'm just going to put in some black shade on the inside bit of this eye and the bottom upwards. It's just a flex marker, it's kind of running out, but I kind of like it when they're running out. Makes it really easy to kind of just fade out. You just keep working over it to make it black, and then the rest just goes really easy. See? So literally just on those two inside bits on the bottom and the top. Just fading it out. Similarly on the nose bit, so we just come up to the edge. Fade downwards. And I'm just going to do it on a few little edge bits, like here, this little corner. Down a little corner bit there. Anyway, it's kind of like a nice little dip to get, you know, your curve out of. Yeah, I think that's for that. And then bring in my grey. And people ask me, like, you know, oh, what's the grey you use? They're just basic greys, and there's nothing different, you know. You have one that's slightly darker, one that's slightly lighter, and a black. You know, just flex markers. Pretty much buy them anywhere. Now there, I just coloured in this bit like a dark grey, and I'm just going to put this little kind of dark line just across the edge, this side, just to give a little bit of kind of curve. Just going to flick in a little bit here. I'm going to colour in this bit in a lighter one, I think. Just going to go over this bit with my dark grey, and we'll flick it out. I'm just going to put a little shadow just over the teeth. Now, what I said about the semicircle thing, this is a very similar effect, because you're just basically exaggerating the shadow where the teeth indent is. Excuse me, got a cough today. So I'm just flicking this out a bit more, just create this bit separate. Just going to bring this line here so you can kind of make it more definition. These side bits. Then I'm just going to bring in my light grey and just fade some of these out. Voila. 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 Just got my lines a little bit there. Shadow now. Maybe just a little flick just there. I mean, literally just flicking it anyway, kind of get a nice little space you think might look good. I play around with it like here, you know, I mean, I just saw this little area there, just think, oh, you know, it might look good there. So I just kind of flick it in. Yeah. If you sometimes don't want to leave loads of light area, you can sometimes put it like here, I'm just putting a grey shade. I'm not going up to the lines, I'm literally just filling this little bit on the inside. It's just creating something to just fill this gap, just so there's something more going on. See? You know what I mean? It's very simple. It's not taking away too much from the highlight. You know? Playing around with colours and just throwing in shadows pretty much here, there and everywhere. It's always, you know, a really good thing to do. Another little effect here I'm just going to put in just little sort of dark circles, and then if I can find my... Where the hell did my white pencil go? This one is on white, but it'll do. Yeah, I mean, cause normally if I was doing this, you know, like, you know, put a little highlight just around the edge. So just around one, like, you know, half of it. It just kind of bumps out, you know, the shape of it. So it's there's a few little highlights. This isn't more white, this is more like a pinkish, but it's just giving a little kind of highlight. You don't always have to highlight with white. Yeah, and just pretty much anywhere you kind of feel like there's a cylinder shape, and just a little highlight through the centre, like on the teeth bit. Just there. Just so that the teeth. Do. Yeah, and when I said about the highlight, you know, in the inside. Right, people, sorry about that. The parrot died and I didn't realise. But yeah, as you can see, I just put a few, like, you know, the highlights. I put in a white edge, just all around the edge. You know, you've probably seen me do it a few times, and on this kind of tan paper, you know, it really does just bring it out. And where I left those gaps in the middle, they were for highlights. So I just bolded them in, like, you know, white. You know, if I was doing them in colour, I'd probably do them yellow or green or something like really kind of nice and bright to contrast it. But yeah, that's kind of how you do a skull. Now you've got to think that each individual section contributes to the kind of personality of it. So depending on the shape of the eyes, you know, will sort of determine, like, you know, its kind of expression, you know, whether it's sad, happy, whatever. You know, the nose, you know, if you've got a big nose or a small nose, it will change the dynamic of it completely. You know, the teeth, depending on how far you go with them, the sides, and the head shape, you know. Now this one here, I've got, you know, nice kind of small head shapes. I quite like the way it looks, you know. But you know, you can go for a bigger one. You know, if you want to get an evil kind of one, you know, generally have bigger heads. You know, for the evil ones. You know, you can have that jaws attached, jaws detached. You know, but I do know point showing you what it looks like with the bottom jaw as well. But yeah, for now, that is how to draw a skull. I hope it helps. I hope you like it. I'm the Broken Puppet. Check out my other videos, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.